Welcome to Diplomatic Channel. I am Amarachi Ubani. We've been witnessing reactions to the announcements made by U.S. President Donald Trump recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. The city has quite a history. It's been attacked 52 times, captured and recaptured 44 times, besieged 23 times, and destroyed twice. The oldest part of the city was settled in the 4th millennium BCE, making it one of the oldest cities in the world. Both Israelis and Palestinians claim Jerusalem as their capital. The State of Israel maintains its primary governmental institutions there, while Palestine hopes to make it the capital of a future state. But neither claim is widely recognized internationally. Jerusalem is a city considered a holy city in the three major Abrahamic religions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The Bible says King David conquered the city from the Jebusites and established it as the capital of the United Kingdom of Israel. And his son, King Solomon, commissioned the building of the first temple. The holiness of Jerusalem in Christianity was reinforced by the New Testament account of Jesus' crucifixion there. In Sunni Islam, Jerusalem is the third holiest city after Mecca and Medina. In Islamic tradition, in 610 CE, it became the first Qibla, the focal point for Muslim prayer. Muhammad made his night journey there 10 years later and, according to the Quran, would ascend to heaven where he spoke to God. So the old city is home to many sites of seminal religious importance. Among them is the Temple Mount with its western wall. You also have the Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Outside the old city is the Garden Tomb. Today, by virtue of President Donald Trump announcing the U.S. Embassy would be relocated to Jerusalem, there have been protests across the Arab and Muslim world. And that's because, historically, the United States considered it desirable to establish an international regime for the city, but the final status resolved through negotiations and had not recognized Jerusalem as the Israeli capital prior to President Trump's announcement. But back in 1995, the U.S. Congress passed the Jerusalem Embassy Act, which declared the statement of policy that, quote, Jerusalem should be recognized as the capital of the State of Israel. Then in 2002, it passed as part of the Foreign Relations Authorization Act for the purposes of the registration of birth, certification of nationality, or issuance of a passport of a United States citizen born in the city of Jerusalem. The Secretary shall, upon the request of the citizen or the citizen's legal guardian, record the place of birth as Israel. Although Presidents George W. Bush and Barack Obama have not allowed it. The U.S., however, maintains a consulate in Jerusalem that deals primarily with the Palestinian Authority, while relations with the government of Israel are handled from the U.S. Embassy in Tel Aviv. And the U.S. consulate is not accredited to the Israeli cabinet. This brings us here, where we talk about Nigeria's position on this. Nigeria severed diplomatic ties with Israel after the Yom Kippur War in 1973, but the relations were restored in September 1992, and since April 1993, Israel has maintained an embassy in Abuja, and Nigeria has an embassy in Tel Aviv. Nigerians go on pilgrimage to Israel, visiting the holy sites in Jerusalem also. Now, just last year, President Muhammadu Buhari declared his support for a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, saying, our support for various Security Council resolutions restoring and respecting 1967 boundaries with Jerusalem as capital of Palestine is firm and unshaken. He reflected the stance by most countries of the world, including the European Union. So let's discuss the issues with Professor Charles Dokubo of the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs here in Lagos. Professor Charles Dokubo, thank you for joining us on Diplomatic Channel. Let's begin with the reactions to President Trump's announcement. What do you think is the real anger here, by the Palestinians in the West Bank and those who are clashing with the Israeli security forces, even in the Gaza Strip?
Because this announcement of Jerusalem as the capital of the Israeli state, brings into question the idea of a two-state solution to the problem in Israel or in Palestine. So definitely, the belief was that East Jerusalem will be the capital of a Palestinian state. And then you also say that you believe in two-state solutions. And now you are saying that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel.
But Israel also has a stake in Jerusalem. I mean, it's not yet set in stone that, Jerusalem will also be the capital of Palestine, because the Palestinian state is still not recognized.
But the fact also remains that it's after the final solution, final, that you're going to determine the position of Jerusalem. You've not come to that. You jump the gun and then say that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel.
If we want to fast forward to the end of the peace talks that are supposed to be going on concerning, the problems, the issues surrounding the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, what is the expected end here?
The fact is that, most American administrations have mentioned the two-state solution to the solution of it. And then at the heart of that thing is trading land for peace. Most of the land occupied in 1967 during the crisis, under international law, they are not accepted as Israeli lands.